How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Zaid with us, which is the founder of PPC Mastermind. So tell us, Zaid, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Thanks for having me, Harry.
Pleasure.
The 5 steps I would say is the first one would be, um, make sure that your product or service is solving a problem, because as long as you're serving someone's problem, there's going to be a need for your product or service. Second step would be to understand your target audience. Who are you solving the problem for? Create personas for that audience so that you'll be able to reach out to them whichever way you do marketing. The third step would be to um, uh, to understand your target audience and where they hang out, how they think and how you can appeal to them, whether it's emotional or, you have to communicate your message on how you can solve the problem to that target audience. And then the fourth one would be set goals for yourself, because you don't want to just start something off and wing it. Obviously, if you don't hit goals, then you have to figure out why didn't you hit them, and then work towards hitting them. So setting clear goals is essential. And then the fifth step would be to celebrate your success and keep track of your progress and keep pushing forward, because making your first million, it might not happen in 3 months, 6 months. It depends on what you're doing, but as long as you keep pushing forward and figuring out what the problem is and fixing it, then you'll end up being successful.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And then say, let's talk about advertising, particularly pay-per-click. I remember that when I started to use this in my business, actually revolutionized the way that we do advertising forever. Where um, I remember back in the day, I bought an advertising I used to have a restaurant, and somebody came to a restaurant and said, "Look, this strategy is gonna bring you loads of clients to a restaurant. Let's put an ad in Liverpool Street in London." Yeah, so the contract is 2 years, and Liverpool Street is one of the busiest train stations in London. So I'm like, wow, if I put an piece of advertising there, this is gonna bring me a lot of clients from the restaurant. So the contract was for 2 years. I agreed, signed the paper. The campaign started, and guess what? Not every single client came out of the
Wow.
marketing strategy, and
Mm,
and it costs thousands of pounds, and you have a contract for
yep.
2 years. So
Yep.
after a month, I go into Liverpool Street and said, "Let me see what is my ad and why nobody's coming." And I realized that they put my ad in a place that, yes, hundreds of thousands of people walk through Liverpool Street every single day, but exactly where my ad was placed is the corridor where everybody, all they do is running around to make sure that they don't miss the train. So of course nobody's will never see my ad because
Yeah.
they're on a corridor and their priority is to make sure they don't miss the train. So how they could possibly see my ad? So um,
Sorry to hear that. Yeah,
so
that sucks.
but pay-per-click came, and this changed completely the game, because now I don't need to spend thousands of pounds to realize if the advertising is working. I can test small, and I can measure everything with laser print. Yeah. So why say you decide to specialize in pay-per-click, and why do you think that even today with all the AI and everything that's going on, it still is one of the most powerful way to advertise and to find leads for your business?
Well, it is the most powerful way because you know, all the different channels like Google, Bing, Facebook, they're trying to make money, and so you know, for them to make money, they you know purposely made it to where you know, it's easier for you to show up on their channel if you pay. You know, like for example, SEO, it takes a long time for you to rank on Google, and they keep changing the algorithm. So you have to keep, you know, updating and doing different changes and things like that. So they, you know, they want you to pay for the ads, and they place the ads in specific spots where they know a lot of people are looking at them, because again, that's how they make money. The reason why pay-per-click works is because you essentially control everything. So you can pay for specific keywords that people will be searching for. You can send people to a specific landing page based on what they click on. You can put in how much you want to pay per click. You can put in your budget. You know, you control what ad shows up. I mean, you have control on a lot of different aspects, like where they show up, what device, a lot of different settings. So that's why you know, paid is quick at getting results versus other channels.
Yeah. So, and then, Sai, can you explain for our audience what is pay-per-click? So some people listening, maybe they don't understand the concept.
Yeah, absolutely. So pay-per-click is a concept created by the different you know, online properties like Google, Bing, where you would essentially tell Google, I want to show my ad for a specific keyword. So let's say you're you know, you do construction, or you know, whatever you do, you're a lawyer. You want people, you know, you want people to click, you know, see your ad when someone types in car, I'm in a car accident, or like, you know, find a lawyer near me. So what happens is when someone types in that keyword and they see your ad, once they click on your ad, you pay for that single click. So that's why they call it pay per click, because every time someone clicks on your ad, you pay a certain amount of dollars for that click. And the amount that you pay per click depends on a variety of factors. Mostly, it's competition. So, for example, lawyers. I did a case study on lawyers a couple years ago, and because it's so high competition, and because you know, they make so much money, at least in the U.S.,
Mhm.
from you know, car accidents and things like that, they pay around $150 a click. You know, universities also
Wow,
pay.
$150 a click. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Universities
Wow,
even pay more, because
really?
you know, yeah, because universities also, you know, they charge hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So they don't really care if they pay $250 a click, because if they get students to sign up,
Wow.
they're gonna make the money back.
So
So the
huge budgets, right?
Oh yeah, huge budget. Yeah, I mean, Google makes money from thin air. If you think about it, it's just basically you're moving your mouse, you know, click on something and they make money. You know what I mean? So you know, they make an absorbent amount of money. Um,
So which one said, because we all talk about pay-per-click and people think that it's only about Facebook and Google, but can you name all the platforms that use pay-per-click?
yeah, pay per click. You can do pay per click on Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, um,
How
Google,
about TikTok?
obviously.
How about TikTok? Tik-
TikTok, I think it's views.
Use?
I'm not sure if they have the pay per click, but I mean, you know, pay per click is a term used loosely, right? Like anything you pay for, like paid media. Some people call it pay per click, some people call it search engine marketing. But I mean, in general, anything you pay for is categorized under the label of paid marketing. So could be pay per click, pay per view, pay per action. You know, all that stuff is you know, just paid
And I
marketing.
think the pay-per-click is one of the most effective because, you see an ad and if you're interested, you click. And if not, then you don't pay for it.
Yeah,
Very
100%,
effective,
100%.
right?
Yeah, it's effective if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, because it
Um,
tends to be expensive, right?
yeah, I mean, you want to make sure, first of all, you're bidding on the right keywords. And you want to make sure that your ad entices the person that, is looking for whatever they typed in to click on it. And but also you don't want people that can't afford you to click on your ad either, because then they're just wasting your money. You know what I mean? So, and then you want people to, once they click on your ad, to go to a specific page that describes exactly what they're looking for so that it's easy for them to contact you. Because at the end of the day, not everyone who clicks is gonna contact you. That's
100%.
what, right. So you might be, you might get like 100 clicks, and out of the 100 clicks, you get one person that contacts you. So you end up paying, let's say $1 a click. That's $100, and for
So
one
when this
person.
happened, say what's the problem? Is that
It could
they
be
use
it
the
could be
wrong
a variety.
targeting.
Yeah, it could be a variety of problems. It could be the keyword that you're bidding on is not relevant. Could be that the ad doesn't describe your product accurately, or it could be that um, you're sending them to a page that doesn't, you know, it doesn't convince them to contact you. It doesn't show them like what you're doing. There's no testimonials on it. It doesn't describe your service. They're kind of like guessing. Maybe they don't understand it, so they end up leaving.
So at the end of the day, this is pay-per-click is not just the advertising that you just put, right? It's just the whole process, because we can use pixels like you described. So pixels, to explain to our audience, is piece of code that you put in your website, so you can track and you will know exactly if the clients are coming from the advertising that you did in Facebook, for the advertising that you did in LinkedIn, for the advertising that you did um, in Google, and you can track that, yeah, on those platforms. However, there is something, say, that it's even very powerful, not too many people use, and uh, uh, it's what we call remarketing. So sometimes you see the ad in LinkedIn, you click to the page, and then because you click to the page, now next time you go into Facebook, you're gonna see the ad about that, because it can be used for remarketing. Do you How effective do you think is remarketing nowadays in terms of improving conversion?
Funny you say that, because I was actually the first person to ever make a remarketing course online.
Wow.
And I have around 5,000 students enrolled in that course.
Wow.
Yeah, I did it like 5 years ago. But yeah, remarketing is the number one, I would say, channel, or the number one type of campaign that you want to be running on your website, because of many things. So first of all, a lot of people who come to your website, even though they might be interested, they're just going to leave. Either they're doing research, or they forget, they get
Got a phone call.
yeah, they get, yeah, so they leave. What remarketing does is it follows them around the web, and it shows them your product or service, and that works in very awesome ways. So the first one is, a lot of people will see your ad everywhere, and they'll think like, man, these guys are spending so much money. They must be so trustworthy. Like if they're spending that much money, that means they're successful. People are using them, so it creates a psychological effect in their mind, like just increases the trust in their mind, right? They see you on Facebook, LinkedIn, on different websites, on Google. They'll you just follow them around everywhere. It's like, um, it's kind of creepy, but it works. The Yeah,
Yeah, said, but with the technicality of this, right? Is it actually possible that you do pay-per-click in LinkedIn, then you land in my landing page, and after the same person can be tracking Facebook as a remarketing? It doesn't work like. Is it work like that, or the remarketing can be only doing the same platform? Can
No,
we
you can
cross
remarket
platforms,
people on every single platform.
but
You can
individually,
you
right? You cannot cross platforms, right?
I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe I
Like, for
misunderstand the
example, if
question.
somebody is in LinkedIn and see your advertising and
Yeah,
land in your landing page,
yeah,
and after they go to Facebook, can you
yeah.
remarketing this person because in
Oh
LinkedIn
yeah,
or in LinkedIn?
yeah.
So how technically you do that?
If someone, you're saying if someone from LinkedIn clicks on your ad and goes to your page, you're
Yes,
trying to retarget that same person.
yes.
Okay, you would just need to add the Facebook pixel on your website or the Google pixel, and then you just set up your campaigns and you launch them, and then every time they go to Facebook, they're gonna be followed around because they went to your website and they got cookied.
They got a cookie. They got a cookie from Google and also from Facebook, so you can switch them and remarketing, right?
Yeah, I mean you can
How
basically you
effective do
would
you think that is remarketing, say,
super effective, man. I mean
nowadays, even nowadays, right?
yeah, nowadays, I mean, in the U.S., it's way more effective than Europe because in Europe you guys have higher, more regulation. You need to ask the person for permission for the cookies, and make sure that you have consent and all that stuff. But yeah, it is very, very, very powerful. I mean, not to mention the fact that a lot of people who see your remarketing ads, they're not gonna click on the ad. They're actually gonna either Google your name or they're gonna type in your website into the browser. So essentially, you're not gonna even pay for the click. So it's, I mean, it's very powerful
Wow,
in many different ways.
wow,
Yeah.
that's powerful, right?
Yep.
That's very,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
give you a sense that you are everywhere, right? The people say, "Wow, this company is huge. This guy is in everywhere," right?
Yep. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so you wrote and you prepared online course 5 years ago about remarketing. So how do you learn that this is gonna be a powerful tool?
I used to work for an agency, and back in the day, not a lot of people knew about remarketing or how to set it up. And we used to set it up for clients, and it worked great for them. So, and I was the one doing the all the setup and the analytics and the reporting. So that's I know firsthand that it works that it works great.
So then, Said, how do you decide to become an entrepreneur, and to leave your corporate job, your agency? What made you think that that you don't want to work for anybody else? You want to have your own company?
Well, I don't know what made me think that. I just kind of know I knew that I could do it on my own, because I was the one doing most of the work, and I know the technical aspects of it, and I saw how I learned how they were doing things. The only challenge for me was how to get clients, and when I got a couple of clients, I was able to support myself, and then I just grew slowly from there through referrals. I did a great job for a lot of clients. They refer me to other clients, and I just grew slowly from there. And then when I had, more income, I started advertising more. And then I just grew, and then my referrals grew at the same time, and everything just clicked.
So
But I just had the confidence to launch my own thing because I knew what I was doing.
yeah, but then it's tough to find your first client. So how you navigate this process? When you started your own business, nobody knows you.
Yeah.
So how do you find your first client?
Actually, when I left my agency, the my first client was a person that I used to work with in my agency. They actually called me after they figured out that basically I left the agency, and they're like, "We don't want to work with them anymore. We want to work with you directly because you did great work for us, and we
Oh,
want you to handle our account directly." So I was lucky. I was lucky in that way. And I also started, in like 12, 14 years ago. So I was pretty young. I didn't have like a huge family to support, but other people who were starting out, and they have a huge family to support, they might want to get more clients in the beginning than just leave and take a huge risk and end up, I mean, every person is in a different situation, but I was just lucky because I got the call, out of the blue and be like, we want to work with you directly, and
Wow.
was happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a bit more about pay-per-click mastermind. What is it? How can people enroll and be part of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we help small and big businesses with paid marketing. We do, if you're interested, or if you're running any Google Ads account, Facebook, whatever paid marketing, I'm happy to do a free audit on your account. And what I usually do is I go through the account and I'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed through a video. And Happy to connect with anybody. If you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn. Just look for Zaid Ammari.
Yeah. And then what advice do you have for the entrepreneurs out there that when it's time of crisis, yeah, like COVID or things are not going good, uh what they do is they cut the budget in marketing, which I think that is they think marketing like an overhead, and at the end of the day is the lifeblood of the business, because if you don't have clients, you don't have anything, right? So, and of course,
Yep.
and if everybody is reducing the budget of marketing, then these companies, these keywords, they work like a bidding system, so it's actually cheaper. So they should be advertising more because it's actually cheaper than when everybody's around. But every single company, when times goes a little bit sour, then they say they check all the expenses, and the first thing they say, oh, we need to reduce this. They call it marketing cost, yeah, without realizing that this is not a cost, this is an investment to keep the business growing, because you have less clients, then the less revenue comes, and then you have less people to pay everybody else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would say to that is the problem is with the client at that point, because they obviously do not have a plan in place, and when people do that, they're usually in panic mode. And if you have a plan and you know your market and you know your audience, you wouldn't just completely cut your marketing budget, because at the end of the day, people are still going to be looking for your product or service. If the need is still there, you still want to be marketing even in the time of crisis. Like COVID, was horrible,
Did you lose so many
but
clients in holiday in COVID?
COVID was horrible, but a lot of people switched to online marketing in COVID. So, I mean, if you stopped advertising in COVID, then you kind of shot yourself in the foot, because people started doing virtual meetings. Everything is virtual. People stopped going to the store. So if you had like an online store, you would have probably wanted to move to like Shopify, put up your products online. So like my businesses, they did good in COVID, because people were looking for experts in marketing, and people to help them with that stuff. But I mean, it was a scary time, so I'm not gonna blame anybody for stopping the marketing expense and just waiting to see what happens, because like COVID was like a hopefully it's once in a lifetime experience, because that was horrible, man.
It's a little bit weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we never know. We didn't know what to do, and a lot of people were cutting the budgets, right? And
Yep. Yep.
so it was terrible, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it was a health crisis, there's nothing more important than your health. So, what can you say, man? COVID was just horrible. It was like a very crazy time, and I completely understand why people just went up and shut their budgets out. But I feel like a lot of people, after a while, they kind of realized, like, oh, you know what? Like, why are we decreasing our marketing budget? A lot of people are online now, and so they
absolutely,
they they restarted after a while. But in the beginning, it was very, very scary.
yeah,
And again, remember, like, no one knew how long that was gonna last.
100%.
So
So tell us what people need to, what all our listeners, what the things that they need to pay attention if they want to run an effective pay-per-click campaign. Let's say in Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to run paid marketing, the first thing you want to do is plan. So you want to have a plan with the budget for at least 6 months. And I have a calculator on my website that can help you do some projections and math to see if it's, a pay-per-click is
What's the
effective for you.
website? What is the website?
PPCmasterminds.com. There's a link in the main menu for a free calculator, and you can use that to kind of estimate if you can generate revenue from paid marketing. And depending on how much you're selling, how many people are buying when they come to your website, what the cost per click is for your keywords, you can kind of determine, like, is it going to work for me? But I would say the first thing is definitely plan and budget for at least 6 months, and just understand that the money that you're spending on paid marketing is, even if you don't make money from it, you should be learning from it. And so it's an investment. It's not a failure if you don't make money in the first couple of months, even in the first 4 months, because you want to be testing different things. You want to be testing different ads, keywords, landing pages, and learning from your tests. If you're spending money on paid marketing and you're not testing, you are not learning, which means you're failing. As long as you're testing different things, it's an investment. So just test, fail quickly, and then learn from your failure, and then adjust, and just keep going. I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
Ah, sorry. And I'm saying that if people are in love with our conversation and they want to learn more from you and how they can find you, how the process work.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me you can go to ppcmasterminds.com and request a free audit. I'm happy to go through your account and audit your account, your paid accounts. If you don't have a paid account, you can also reach out to me, and I can give you some advice, from recommendations on what you can do. So you can either find me on ppcmasterminds.com, or you can reach out on LinkedIn. You can find me with my name, Zaid Ammari.
And then say so with all this development of AI, which have you seen any AI tool that actually can help to create a very good copy for the advertising? Or how do you think that AI can be implemented in advertising to make it more effective?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Google started implementing AI technology into the Google Ads. But I mean, I use ChatGPT a lot, and you can use ChatGPT for pretty much almost everything. I would say for like images, it's not great. For video, it's not great. You know, um, for text ads, it will. You could generate ideas from it, but at the end of the day, you still have to check and put in your own, uh, twist on it. I wouldn't 100% rely on like AI, but I would definitely ask it for help and guidance, and then go from there. I don't have a specific AI tool that I use for like paid marketing. I just use ChatGPT. Um, you know, yeah, I don't know like a specific AI tool that's only for like paid marketing or analytics or anything like that, but I do use ChatGPT to help it to
Give you
analyze
some
some
ideas,
data.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Even analyze data. You can have it check reports, and for example, give you key learnings from a report. But even then, you have to check the learning, because sometimes it kind of messes up the data. But I mean, overall, it's pretty reliable, but I wouldn't 100% just trust it completely.
Yeah. And then that's like last question, say. is running a business. Yeah, it requires work balance, and for you to be in front of a computer for so many hours, that and the normal challenges of the business. So how you achieve this work-life balance, and and come back, powerful to work every single day, because this what you do requires a lot of concentration, a lot of creativity, and a lot of measure, because it never ends. It's always try and error, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it ends, that would be horrible because then we wouldn't have a job, right?
Uh,
Uh,
never paper
but
cutting never ends, because it's in
no,
constant improvement, right? There is always something
yeah,
that you can improve in terms of new ads, there is something that you always going to be testing, right?
yeah. I mean, I try to. That's a very good question. I mean, you want to have a balance where I obviously keep a log of when I do optimizations on an account because uh, you want to optimize an account, but also you don't want to over optimize it. Uh,
100%, 100%.
you don't want to do a change today and then go back tomorrow and be like, oh, let me do another change and another change, and then basically you lose yourself with all the different changes. So when you do a change, you have to give yourself time and look at how the data plays out before implementing another change. For example, uh, I use like 150 clicks as like a base, right? Like if you get 150 clicks, that's like statistically significant enough data to do some optimizations. But it's not like it doesn't work on every single account because 150 clicks could be super expensive for one client and it could be like not very expensive for another client, right?
100%.
Um, but I also block out my calendar. So I have blocks on my calendar where no one can book a meeting with me because I know that I'll be working on an account. I when I'm working on an account, I do not check my email like every 2 seconds because then I get distracted, right? I try to focus on one client at a time, like one task at a time. I try not to super multitask because that does not. I mean, it might work for other people, but does not work for me. So
Especially this type of job, it has to be it's very analytical, and you have to be checking all the numbers, and see what is working and what it does, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you want to focus on your client and the one account, and because you're looking at the data and analyzing it. So try to not to get too distracted with other different things. Like checking your email, and then you see an email, then you start thinking about, oh, I have to respond to this email, and then it's a lot of different distractions. Um, yeah.
That's brilliant. So, Said, thank you so much for the broadcast. I really, really appreciate to spend this time with you. I love this pay-per-click mastermind. One of the most effective way, if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening, uh, one of the most effective way of advertising out there is pay-per-click. The reason for that is because you can measure laser print your target audience. So basically, you can tell to any of those platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. You can tell them Google. You can tell them, okay, let's say that you sell a, a baby product for baby girls. You will be able to tell those platforms, okay, can you show my advertise to all the parents and moms that have a daughter between uh, 3 to 5 years old. Yeah, even if you identify the buying behavior is the moms who buying the product, you can even be more specific. It's a show this ad to all the moms in this region of the girls that are between 3 to 5 years old, and then you can measure how many moms buy, and you can get the return on the investment. So that's how powerful is this strategy pay per click. YouTube also has a lot of pay per click in a lot of ads. So do you think that the traditional Google SEO, advertising on top of Google, yeah, against pay-per-click in YouTube? Which one do you think that is more effective?
I mean, if you can rank, obviously it's you're not gonna pay per click, so you'll get you'll get free traffic, but it's not actually free because obviously you're spending a lot of time optimizing and writing content. But obviously organic traffic is very powerful, and usually when people come to you through organic, you get a great conversion rate. So I mean, both of them are great. Both of them you have to pay for. Both of them are an investment. I would say paid media is easier only because you when you pay, you're guaranteed to show up. With organic, you're not showing up every single time, every single, wherever you want to show up at every single location, every single geography, and it's also very hard to measure because of secure search. So if you do paid, you can measure every single click, what they're
100%.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Zaid. And for you, entrepreneurs, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Zaid break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.